None of you are beyond hope if you'll just look and live and consider the claims of Christ on your life. God created each and every one of us for His glory, and He will get glory from each and every one of us, whether it's by our praise in eternity in heaven, or whether it's in the pit of hell as He punishes us out of His righteousness for the sin, and we deserve that punishment. So God will get His glory from us one way or another. Preferably, it will be by way of your praise in heaven forever. The first question of the Westminster Catechism says, ask what the purpose of man is. What is the chief end of man? The chief end of man, it says, the answer to it is, the chief end of man is to glorify God and in turn to enjoy Him forever. God has claims on your life. He has claims on every one of our lives by virtue of the fact that we are His creation. The things that He commands us to do, He doesn't do to create a burden for us. The things He commands of us are commanded of us to protect us, to save us, to redirect our lives, and to help us to know Him and give Him glory. It is no burden. Jesus said that His yoke is easy and His burden is light. Only man in his perversion, religious people who don't know Christ, have turned it into a burden. It's not meant to be a burden. They do that because they take the key to the conscience, called the law, and they twist it out of shape, and they make rules, and that's not what God intended. The law of God is a schoolmaster to bring us to Christ, to show us our need. See, in each and every one of us, God has planted a conscience within us that tells us what is right and wrong. And when we go over His commandments, that's the key that unlocks our conscience and helps us understand that we've violated His law. Have you ever told a lie? You know you have, just like each one of us has. And you know what's wrong. Your conscience bears witness with you. God says the fact that we lie shows that we are perverted at heart, that we're twisted, we're sinful. We don't lie. We lie because we are liars. Lying doesn't make us liars, it just demonstrates what we really are. Have you ever lusted for anyone, not your heterosexual marriage partner? If you have, Jesus said that's the same thing as adultery. The fact that you haven't carried out the act means nothing, because it demonstrates that you have an adulterous heart. And all sin and all rebellion against God starts in the heart. Unbelief starts in the heart because of pride. I was recently in a conversation with someone about loving yourself. The importance of loving yourself. My friends, every one of us loves ourselves. That's the problem. God commands us to love God with all our heart, soul, mind, and strength, and to love our neighbor as ourselves. He never says we're to love ourselves, because He knows we already do. That's the reason why people steal. That's the reason why people are gluttons and drunkards, because they love themselves. They're trying to salve their pain with food and drink. Love is self-sacrifice. That's the biblical definition of love. To do what you can for another person, to take care of their needs, and to supply what they need. And each one of us perverts that in selfishness, and that's why we're self-serving. Every one of us is aware that we need a relationship with something or someone. We keep buying things, and we chase after this and that and everything else, looking for something that'll make us happy. And that's not going to work, because that special place is made for God. We were made in God's image to enjoy Him forever and to seek Him and to know Him. But see, we don't come out here to proclaim the gospel so that you can fill a God-shaped hole in your heart. We do it to help you escape the judgment of God because of your sin. And you say, don't judge me. My friends, God's already judging you. We're just telling you the truth. God so loved the world that He sent His one and only Son, so that whoever believes and trusts in Him will not perish but have everlasting life. That isn't saying that God just was over world with a feeling for us. It basically says, this is what God did to love us. This is how He demonstrated His love. Even in the New Testament, Jesus said, no greater love is any man than this, that He would give His life for another, for His friend. So Jesus Christ, being God in human flesh, came from heaven and He lived a perfectly godly life that none of us could ever live, obeying God in every thought, word, and deed, which we could never do. See, our own righteousness, the Old Testament says, is like filthy rags. And the word in Hebrew for filthy rag refers to a woman's used menstrual cloth. That's the best we can do. We can't do any better than that. Our best works are polluted by unrighteousness and selfishness and sin. There's nothing we do that's pure. Nothing. So we can't save ourselves because we don't have anything good to offer. If we come to Christ, and all we can offer is our sin, and ask forgiveness and repentance and faith, to trust in the one who came to die in our place.